Hey, so in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about IP claims on Amazon and what you need to know. So I've put together this little presentation to help you note down some of the key points as we go along. So IP stands for intellectual property. This is basically something that can be filed against you if you are selling something that a brand doesn't want you to sell. So as you know, there's all manner of brands out there, and it's really down to them if people can resell their stuff or not, right? So if a brand doesn't want you to sell something and doesn't want anyone else to resell something, if they don't want any third-party sellers selling their stuff, they can file an IP claim against you, okay? There's lots of brands that are okay with it, so you won't have any issues, but know that IP stuff can change at any point. A brand that you've been happily selling for a long time can turn around and be like, yeah, I don't want anyone to sell my stuff again. But then they might change their mind later down the line, or vice versa. There might be a brand that doesn't want anyone to sell the stuff and they haven't done for a long while. Then they change their minds and they change that, and then you can start selling their stuff. IP can fluctuate, okay, as with a lot of other factors on Amazon. So this is why it's really important to acknowledge this every single time you do your deal analysis. Okay, if you're going to ignore anything, definitely don't ignore the IP radar on BuyBotPro. That is the best one. BuyBotPro has literally got the largest IP database. So if you're using BuyBotPro, you're in the best place possible to understand if a brand has got an IP issue. And that is because BuyBotPro has the largest database of known problematic brands, and that's due to the relationship with the sister company getting suspended, and they help clients with suspension issues. Therefore, any brands they become aware of that are problematic, that information gets shared with BuyBotPro, and BuyBotPro has got its own ways of assessing problematic brands. If anyone reaches out to BuyBotPro, then that will get put in the database. Sometimes if we just become aware of something ourselves, then of course that goes in the database, and it altogether makes the largest one known to any deal analysis tool. So you're in really good hands in regards to IP with BuyBotPro. So if you have an intellectual property claim filed against you, ultimately what can happen is account suspension for whatever length of time. It depends if you're a repeat offender or not, or the seriousness of the claim. Or it can lead to listing removal. So here's a quick guide on understanding, avoiding, and handling IP claims. There's a few different types of IP claims. So there's trademarks, which protects brand names, logos, and designs. So when you see the little TM next to something, that's a trademark. Selling counterfeit or improperly branded items can result in a claim. The next type is copyrights. This covers creative works like images or text. Using unauthorized photos or descriptions can lead to issues. So this will be more so for when you create your very own listing. So if there's something that isn't on Amazon yet and you're going to create a brand new listing, you can't just take other people's creative works, like the photos that they've done, without permission from them. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have proper permissions from whoever it is that's created those images, so that way you can use them as well. And that can be something that you do with reaching out to them. It can be as simple as that, and you get the ball rolling there, and you get written permission that you can do that, okay? Otherwise, you'll be taking your own photos, and to be fair, that's pretty easy to do if you've got some decent lighting and you've got Canva to remove the background, or you have a really, really, really good just plain white background for the item where it's super clear. The other type of IP claim is patents. So this protects inventions. So selling patented products without permission can result in obviously violations. So those are the different types. IP claims versus brand restrictions. So there is a little bit of a difference between the two. So brand restrictions, certain brands or products require approval to sell, which is also known as engating. This is different from IP. So when a brand is restricted on Amazon, that means you're not eligible to sell, so you need to request approval through Amazon in order to sell. Okay, and however it is that you need to, that you might get engated right off the bat, you might need to submit an invoice, you might need a letter of approval from the company. So brand restrictions and IP claims, these are legal disputes, often unrelated to whether you're gated or not. So obviously if you are going to actually list something on Amazon, it would be ungated. So if you're trying to sell that, and there are known IP issues and you ignore that and you go ahead with it, then that's when a claim can be filed against you. How to avoid IP claims. So it comes with researching products, so ensuring items don't infringe on trademarks, copyrights, or patents. So just take into account what I've said just prior. Use BuyBotPro. As I said, the IP radar alerts you to potential IP risks before purchasing or listing products. It's got the largest IP database known to any deal analysis tool. So as I say, you're in super safe hands there. What to do if you get an IP claim? So firstly, just stay calm, okay? As it can be. Stay calm. Amazon will email you the details, and you're going to need the details before you do anything else. Now, before you immediately reach out to Amazon to try and tackle this issue, the first thing you need to do is investigate. So determine why that claim was made. So you need to know exactly what's been going on. This is also why it's important as well to keep any documents in relation to your items as well. So if it's like an invoice, for example, for said item or items, keep everything like that, all of the paperwork, whether it's an email or physical paper, keep everything related to your products. And I think the rule of thumb is to keep them for at least 7 years. A long time to hold on to this stuff, I know, but with all these important kinds of documents, not just within Amazon, but in general, all of these like super important documents to keep for at least 7 years. Take action. Contact the rights owner to resolve the issue or appeal to Amazon with proof of authenticity, so invoices, emails, and so forth. Remove stock or delete the listing if necessary. Now, if you have had like a Section 3 filed against you or something else that's relatively serious in the Amazon world, what you can also do is reach out to Getting Suspended, as I say, which is the sister company to BuyBotPro, and they help lots of clients get their accounts reinstated. They've helped I think thousands upon thousands at this point get reinstated. And of course, if you're covered by the suspension safeguard in your BuyBotPro plan, then you qualify for help. It's like that insurance. You have to have that insurance before the accident happens. You can't just have the accident and then take out the insurance. So you'll have to have suspension safeguard already in place. Otherwise, you can still reach out to Getting Suspended, but they will quote you for using their services and how much that's going to be. Final tips. Stay proactive by researching products and using tools like BuyBotPro. If an IP claim arises, act calmly and professionally. If in all of your communications with Amazon, regardless of how you're feeling inside, you've got to set that to one side. Even if it's frustrating, you've got to talk to them about the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You can't let out that frustration and anger on them as much as you really want to. You just can't do it. And it's a great lesson in resilience and patience and just pushing through and maintaining professionality at all times, which is fantastic business practice anyway. If you are dealing with customers, that's how you'd have to be. So you have to be that way with Amazon. You've got to remember it's their platform, not yours. Their platform, you're a seller on it. Okay, so it's about abiding by the rules. It's about playing ball with them. Even if you don't feel like they're really playing ball with you, you still got to just keep at it, and eventually something will give and everything will end up sorted out. Of course, if you are a repeat offender and you keep doing this over and over and over and over and you're doing improper checks, then eventually Amazon will just straight up ban you, and unfortunately there's not really much that can be done in regards to that. So that's why you've got to do your analysis. You've got to make sure you're checking these things, keep all of your paperwork and whatnot. With the right approach, you can avoid major disruptions and safeguard your Amazon business. So that's a bit about IP claims, what they are, the different types, how to avoid them. Hopefully this has really tooled you up with all of the knowledge you need and to help you basically stay safe so you can keep selling, so you can keep making money. If this has worried you, don't let it worry you. There's going to be risk with whatever you do in like any form of work, okay? Like if you're doing a job on the high street, there's risk of being made redundant, there's risk of being fired. If you're selling on eBay, that comes with its own set of problems. Vinted has its own set of problems. This is just the stuff on Amazon to think on and make sure you're taken into account, okay? So don't let this worry you. As I say, you follow these tips, you follow these steps, you'll stay safe. And if anything does happen, as I say, if you've got that suspension safeguard on your BuyBotPro plan, or you're happy to reach out to Getting Suspended and seek that help and so forth, then you don't have very much at all to worry about. Of course, if you are, as I say, a repeat offender and you're purposely doing it over and over and over and over, and eventually, bad stuff will happen. So unfortunately there nothing can be done. But for those things that you aren't aware of, those accidents and so forth, you can get help for it. It's not the end, and loads of sellers have managed to bounce back from things like this where that is the case. So don't let that worry you. As long as you're aware of it, then you can avoid it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.